See what we got going on here. Oh, we are excellent. So it says that we are live, people. Let's make sure this is good to go. Hey, it's your boy Nick, HOUTX Trader, coming live from Houston, Texas, guys. I've been on the charts now for a little bit this morning. I see gold over the Asian session had a huge sell off. Now, normally that would make me think that the indices are buying up, but look how everything is selling off. So if you're a trend line breaker on a 30-minute candle, you would be taking these trades here any minute now, as soon as this 30-minute candle breaks below. All right. So um, now let's look at this on a higher time scale. This is important to understand. I kind of want to wait for a couple of my peeps to come in here. So let me come to the internet. Let me do this and do this, do this. Content. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get this link real quick. Okay. Let me go over here. Okay. So let me see here. Let's minimize this now. Okie doke. Now we have my OBS back up. Okay, this is what I was saying. This entire time I've been thinking that these needed to be taken out, and this was the order block that I was referring to that needed to be hit. And so, yes, I did take some L's when this here broke, and I was trading there to take out this double bottom, which was liquidity, okay? And so, yeah, I did take those L's. I was not convinced, but everybody else the other day when they're taking those buys, I was not convinced that that was the buy, right? So when it came back up, I was thinking it was going to reject one more time and then sell off, and it didn't do it. It came all the way up, and I knew, and even in the live call, I called it out because we had this top, and this top. These are just liquidity, and I wanted to come up and hit this order block, which I've had marked off for days now. It did that. It cleared that order block and then reversed. Okay. I didn't necessarily think it was going to clear the order block, but I did think it was going to get to that order block and exactly did in reverse. Now it's doing the same thing that I think now. It's coming down to this order block here, and hopefully that is where it's going to stop. So don't pay attention to that or that, but it is taking out this liquidity right there, that double bottom, because this is why I think that. I think that because really this was the low here, my strong low that took out all of this liquidity here and here, right? And it held this block right there. It held that right there, equal lows there. So this then was my strong low. Okay? So overall, this is the fib we're still playing within, top or bottom to top. So, like I said, when everyone was taking their buys right here, and good for them because it ran up way more than I thought. But when it did break this right here, I was like, okay, it's going to the order block. And that's exactly what it did. I was not expecting it to top it, but it did. It is what it is. And now it's hunting liquidity. Exactly what I thought. I thought the entire time this was not the real low, right? And it's exactly what it's doing. It's hunting these double bottoms as liquidity, which there's lots of it there, and there's the order block. It's there. So honestly, it's hard to go against this momentum in buys, but I am in a buy because I had a limit set last night and woke up this morning and it had triggered. Obviously, it had triggered. It was up in this area, so I'm in buys off of a limit. In the If I would have known, I probably would not have taken it there. I would have seen this and said, well, we need to chill and wait down here, but it is too late for me. I'm in and I've already risked it. It is what it is. I did put my stop loss below here. Matter of fact, I should probably put it right about there at 22.97. So let me change that real quick just to give myself extra leeway, extra drawdown. It is what it is. 22 right now. It's at 22.92. Okay, so I'm at 22. Sorry, so I'm just a little bit further down. Okay, so I'm right in here, 22.92 area for my stop loss. No big deal. Just a few pips more. Right there. Okay. Huge stop loss. I know what it is. It is what it is. But overall, I really think this is going to set new highs, right? Gold, the war, Russia, the talking shit, whatever, right? This is supposed to come up here at new highs. I'm not closing this out. If this does not hit my stop loss right now and I get back into profit, I am not closing it. That son of a bitch is going to run all the way to the top. I do not think that gold is just going to start selling off way back down. I mean, it could. Let's look at the daily. All right. I mean, look at all this room down here it does have. And if it breaks this, right? If it breaks this order block right here and it closes below, well, then our next stop is this guy. All right. And then that next stop after that is down here. Do I think it's going to come all the way down to 2,000? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but this is the whole liquidity the whole time. This is the whole thing. I did not think that was it, and that's why people were like, "Well, why are you saying don't take these buys? You know, why are you going against what everyone else is saying?" Blah blah blah. Well, that's the reason why. I didn't think that was it, and they're now getting tapped out. All right, so everyone who was entering. So let's go back into this. Why did I think that was not it? All right, because I haven't had a chance to really explain this. Because people in the chats, people in the social media world were talking shit or mad at me because I was saying don't buy here, blah blah blah. Well, this is the reason. When these people took this trade, and again, great trade. They're playing the double bottom. Good for them. Like I'm not knocking them for catching all those pips. I wish I'd have caught those pips, right? But at the time, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and it did not make a lower low. So there was nothing at this time telling them to take this trade off the double bottom. It was pure speculation of pure luck. Because why wouldn't they have hit this double bottom? Guess what? They'd have lost. Or this double bottom, they'd have lost. So the fact that they did hit that double bottom, they're lucky, in my opinion. All right. You play double bottoms, and if that's your strategy, by all means, it does work sometimes, and that's how you catch really good trades. But how you catch the best trades is when you see a double bottom or something, and then it pulls off. It gives you a break of structure, which it just did. It pulls back, which it's doing now, and then you get in. Okay, so this is where you catch the best trade because now like I said too, it did not give you the fuck you candle. Gold did not give you the fu candle, and now it's giving you the fuck you candle. Now it's giving you, oh, you thought you got in at a double bottom. We're knocking you out, and we're taking you as liquidity. So now's the time. All right. Unfortunately, I got in a little bit higher. I was actually playing this order block here when I got in. All right, so I got in a little too high. It is what it is. Um, I take these trades live, and I enter my live, so I'm not trying to hide anything. I am in drawdown. I did take the trade too early, but again, it was on a limit that I had set when I was traveling yesterday, and I woke up this morning. I didn't look at the charts last night. I got home late, woke up like fuck. All right, but it is what it is. It's all good. Let me go back to the OBS to see if any of you guys are saying anything in chats. DC, Fire Trunks, Wes, and Francis, thanks guys for all being here. Um, all right. So yeah, so this is what gold is doing. Again, I'm playing this order block, which I mean, I've been saying it all along. I think that's the order block right there. I even called it out in someone else's chat, like, hey, it needs to hit the order block, and they're like, you're wrong. It already hit the order block. Well, no, it hadn't. It had not hit that order block. These candles right here did not hit the 78.6 right there. Did not hit, and this was going lower. So I was just playing the thing and not buying right there. All right. Now is a different story. Now we have the taking liquidity. Now we have that red line, which is technically the order block, which these did not hit, now has been hit. So now is the chime. Now is the time to buy. Now I do realize if we come back out to a little bit higher of a time frame, that perhaps it wants to get a bit deeper into this order block, but there's a 78.6. All right. Delete that because that's not the 78.6 we're talking about. We're talking about this 78.6. There it is. Now it's been hit. All right. Again, I'm being cautious about entering on that much of a momentum down, but it is 100% taking liquidity. So if you would have been playing the strategy that I play, you play the gold on the 78.6, which is now. Your stop loss would have been right down here, which is a shit ton of pips. I get it, but really, what's your target? So if you're a day trader or if you're a person who has to work and you don't have time to sit on the charts all day, this is the trade. That's the one you're taking, right? I'm already in, so I'm not going to double down, but there it is. Like I should go and open another account right now and just put buy, leverage the entire thing on this stop loss and just fucking go for it and hit that and you'll pass your challenge, you'll pass your whatever right there. That's the trade. I I seriously do not think this low is going to break. I could be wrong. And you know what? It's not like it hasn't happened before. Let's look at the arguments on the other side. Well, the arguments for sells is that yeah, it broke structure, right? It broke and it retested the trend line and then it went. So, okay, what else is happening? We had a high, we had a low. This pulled back into the order block, but look at this order block. I mean, look at this is really it. You really want it to pull back up to here. So even if you take the trade now and you have that gigantic stop loss, your TP1 is there, which is 1.72, basically a 2 to 1. You would think it'd get a little bit into the order block, but who knows? But with gold being so bullish, you want to be in buys, right? You want to be in buys. This all along has been um, my bottom, my swing, and that's the one that needs to get broken. So until that swing point gets broken, we're still bullish. This trend line, I'm not a trend line guy per se, but there it is. Speaking of trend lines, let's look at 30 and NAS. See, look, they didn't close below 30. NAS did not close below. It's got 5 more minutes to do what it wants to do. So if this NASDAQ closes below, I'm guaranteeing you there's probably people who are going to be selling that NAS, and the same thing on 30. Look, it bounced off. It hasn't closed below yet. So what you could do, right, if this is London and this is the order block here that led to that, what you could do, because now this is now a change of character, right? Where's liquidity? Right there. Why is it not showing? It's so retarded. Oh, it's on a, right, ZZ. Here we go. This is what I want. This then is all liquidity that just got taken out. Again, I kind of would rather be in buys because it's so bullish, but there is a lot of liquidity sitting below. There's that liquidity. There's these touches here. I like just use the fucking tool. There's these touches here, and then you'd want to hold this order block as the swing marker, right? This order down here. So if it breaks, I'm not saying there's not there's definitely a possibility for that, especially since news is coming up with NFT. But look how it's rejecting. So that lets you know that it's taking out liquidity right here. It's taking out liquidity and it's holding this as the bottom. Right there to there. All right, 78.6. Now it's rejecting. So I'm not going to sit here and claim that I'm always right because that's ridiculous. But I would suggest that if you're a person on here and you're looking, like, start to look at where the market needs to go to target liquidity. Start to look at reasons why the market is going to where it is. This is the order block here that led to this big sell-off. Therefore, where is our sell zone? Right there. Guess what happened? It hit our sell zone and now it's rejecting. So you could have been, I wasn't because I've been traveling. You could have been in trades. Honestly, I have a sell limit at the 88.6. I have a sell limit right there. And my stop loss is right there. And my TP is going to be down here at this top of this order block. So we can expand this order block to encapsulate this whole thing. And what I mean by that is the top of this area to obviously the lows here, right? To like this area would be the area of consolidation that led to this right here, right? So I'd want to see the same thing. I'd want to see this market come up and get into this. 50% of the market is right of that order block is there, which is right here is the 88.6. I'd like to see it get into this and then take out all of this back down to here, right? And set a good double bottom. If it set that good double bottom, now it is primed to come up and set all-time highs. So that's why I zoom out a little bit, and that's why I'm taking my trades in this area. So a lot of people will have a lot of losses in this area, when they should be waiting for the getting it closer to the order blocks and then start to take their trades and then start to look for their opportunities. This is where people lose. All right? That's where people get knocked out and get their money taken. It's very dangerous inside this area, right? I'm on the 30-minute chart, but if we come back out to, let's say, the 2-minute the 2-hour chart, this is kind of where you should be playing. You should be playing in these areas. Now, if you look at the buy side, right? What do we have on the buy side? Well, we have a clean liquidity looking area here. This is the real low, right? Isn't that the real low? The nice big deep low? So wouldn't your Fibonacci in your areas be like this? Now look at this. What is this? That looks like a clean ass double top. That double top is going to get taken out as liquidity. All right. So if we know there's liquidity in these double bottoms sitting here, and look at the market have just left. It just left from this point. It, it set a double top. It did not break up, and it came back down. So now it's going to want to hunt this area and hold this as the swing marker. And we're bullish until it breaks this. So therefore, we need to be playing in this area. So if you're one of those people, again, who work the 9 to 5 that don't have time to sit on the charts all day long, this is where you need to be playing. You need to be playing down here, all-time highs. All right. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to come up here. I have my sell limit set here. And if that hits, I think TP1 will be the double bottom. TP2 will be right there. And then I'm getting right back into buys to catch us all the way back up top. Now, perhaps we might stall out at this order block area. All right. To come back down. Again, to come. If this happens and we come down and then we come back up, then we have an order block. We'll need to come back down probably and take out whatever kind of liquidity is left and then set the all-time high. All right, so then we're Elliott waving, if you think about it. Up, down, up, right? We're Elliott waving ourselves back to the all-time high, which is over there. Let's just delete some of this stuff. Let's get back to the 30-minute. I do think this is going to sell off, but with NFP, it might come and give us the wick and then sell off. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for. If you have any questions, put it. How do you feel about not setting new all-time highs this week, but 30 not? Okay, so NAS is NVIDIA, right? So NVIDIA is driving NAS, and the AI market is going crazy. I was watching Bloomberg a couple of days ago, and they were like, "Oh, people were thinking there's going to be 5 to 6 rate cuts this year. Now they think there might be one." So everyone's all bullish. This is the same shit that happened like 2 weeks ago, where Nasdaq or something just pumped. You're just like, "What the fuck? Where did that come from?" Right? Like, oh, these idiots think that there's going to be let me look on the 12 hour. There's going to be a rate hike or something, and then it just blew through, probably right through here. And you're like, did not see that coming. Because if you think about it, if you look at this chart, right, we're up, we're starting to lose momentum. We broke, and so me, especially, was sitting in this area thinking, okay, this is where we're going to start to see a turnaround right here, there. Because if you think about it, down, Elliott wave, back up. There's the order block. I was shorting, waiting for a new lower low. Well, they fucking news popped. Oh, they think it's going to be a rate cut this year, blah, 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 blah. And then that happened. All right. And you're like, shit, it is what it is. And then same thing. Okay, let's break. Okay, I know I can't be the only one who is seeing this break and saying, okay, well, let's just play. We have to play the percentages. What's the percentages after a good break like this that it does what? It builds its way back up, finds an order block, and then splits down. But again, there it is. It did not do that. And it fucking smacked us because that's what it does. What can I say? But if we think about this, in this situation, this is what I saw. I mean, there was liquidity sitting here. That's liquidity. And so I was just hoping. Now, this is what I get for shorting a bull market. All right. Fucking my bad. I was thinking this would come up in this area. I fibbed it, and then it just blew right through. So it is what it is. Where I mean, we should be in buys. Now this is probably a pretty strong low right there, right? Because if we look at why it's a strong low, look at all this liquidity that it took out. All right, we could draw a horizontal line in this area, right where that other right where the red line is. We could just move it, I guess, here, and that came back down and hook out the last of these bit of these sell candles before it popped off. So that is the breaker area, right? This is the top. This is the breaker candle, and if you really look, yeah, it's right there. I mean, it came down and hit that perfectly, then popped back off. So it came back down, got its liquidity, and picked up the rest of its sells. It knocked these people out, and then went. So the smart idea, the safe idea, especially if you want to be a bigger type trader and you have a job, is to do this, right? That's the smarter idea. You're going with the momentum, let it come through here because as we speak, you know that it's setting up liquidity in this area here and with this final wick. So wait for this market to come all the way back down here and take it out. Or you could be a 30-minute trendline trader and you could take that trade right now. So I'm calling it out. If you're a trendline trader, the 30-minute candle close below, your stop loss would be right here, right there. Your stop loss would be just above this, and there's your trade. All right. If you're a 30-minute trendliner, you're taking NAS right now. 804. You have not taken that trade yet. And there goes gold off of the 78.6, and there it goes popping off. Again, I'm not super stoked on gold because it had so much momentum. All right, it had so much momentum. I'm not like overly excited on gold, but it is what it is. And technically, if you're playing the new gold strategy, there's the 15-minute break right there. Actually, take that back. Yeah, no, that's it. All right. So your stop loss. Again, I'm not super excited about this trade either because look at the stop loss. But the idea would be then to take the sell right there. You're looking for 100 points, and then your stop loss would be negative. So that's a negative risk reward, right? So that's probably one of the ones you probably not want to take. But that was the strategy, and perhaps we'll go back to that next week when it doesn't have a negative risk reward. But again, I do think now that this is the triple bottom. This is come and gave the fuck you candle to all these people who were buying last week and had these runners. It just knocked them all out. I'd like to see it get a little bit lower. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to see it get just a bit lower. I'm already in buys, so I'm not doubling down. Morning, Nicolas. That is my name as well. Um, so yeah, I wanted to jump on here before Andy and the guys. Um, he said he's going to trade at 8:30 at market open. Yeah, so this is actually like on the 30-minute, it did break. Let's just make sure that our trend line is actually in the correct position. I mean, yeah, you can't get much closer than that. That's the bottom. That's close to that bottom, but that's the lowest bottom. So, yeah. I always say on when it comes to trend lines, right? I don't take trend lines like this, right? I personally don't do this. Here, here, here. I want to see the pull back. I want to see a good retracement, and then my trend line would have been like that, right? If and when I do take trend lines. Obviously, too. Look, we're bullish, so I mean, you could have maybe done that tighter trend line, but you would have came in. I mean, if you this is again, this is the reason why. If you'd have taken it there, where was your stop loss down there below the low? That's a huge fucking stop loss. You could have put it maybe right here. You get it knocked out, right? So I want to see the good. Like for me, this is not good enough of a pull. Like that's not enough, right? I want to see the good one, and so we'll go into that just right now. Right, we'll go into that. Let's look at some examples of that. Um, I mean that would have been the trend line. It's not a very good angle, but that would have been the trend line that I would have gone off of, and you'd have seen it, you know, in that area. I think I see trend lines better on that on the buy side of things, but whatever. Let's delete these because. And again, I don't like. Let's say too. I know a lot of people do this. This is just me. This is just me. If you're gonna draw a trend line like this, I don't use that same trend line over here for anything. Right? For me, that trend line is gone. I only use the first ones, and that's the one we have on our board now. So 30 hasn't closed below, so you're not taking that trade yet. Again, I want to see the 88.6 on 30. It hasn't hit. Has it hit on NAS? So let's just go back out and see if it at least hit our. Okay, NAS doesn't fucking count because that's all time high, right? So what you're looking for on NAS then to see if it's done is this is the good swing for me. And that would be the take profit. And let's now before I claim this, let's just make sure that this is the actual bottom. And so what I mean by that is I want to get my levels to where they make more sense. I think right there it is. So maybe the reason why I say that is this. Off this bottom and we had this push. This 38.2 is holding, the 236 is holding, the 50 has a blip, the 618 kind of and maybe that's not even it, right? Maybe we need to do this. Let's see how that looks. 236 holds solid, 38.2 has a blip, 50 kind of had a little resistance. Look, 78.6. So I kind of like that one better. So then if that's the fib really on the external structure, this is going to be the TP for NAS. So maybe NAS isn't done yet, right? Or yeah, NAS. So maybe this is just a trend line that's just off a little bit, and maybe it's not done. It needs to pump up to this area here, this 236 here. All right, this area 236, which we can move this red line then to right there. All right. So perhaps that is its TP where it's going to start to slow down and turn around. I'm not selling NAS on this much momentum. There's no fucking way. Uh, you could do trend line break if you want to. I'm out. I'm not fucking with it. But if you are a trend liner, there's the 30. Again, if I was to do this, okay, let's remember, let's change that statement. I would go top to bottom and see that there's some sort of structure break here, and that would be the trade for me there. Small stop loss, and then now I would be trying to catch it all the way back down, just like the trend line break. All right, so that would be my deal. So it did change of character. So let's call that trade out instead. I'm not necessarily going to call it the 88.6 because there's not a whole lot of pips difference, and that wick is there. So I would rather enter at the 78.6 and just eat that extra drawdown and then do that. So that would be the trade right there that I would take because it did technically close on the other side. It did break change of character here, right? So it has taken that out. It did give us a pull. Let's see if we can get a pullback and then take that trade. That would be the trade. So maybe I need to start entering these positions. So let me get up to my broker. Let's go NASDAQ. Maybe. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna go pending order, new order, pending order. Mine's gonna be 1919061. 19061. 19061. Stop loss is going to be just above. We're either right or we're 19125. We're either right or we're wrong. 19. And if we're wrong, we'll be wrong fast. 19122. We'll say that 122. That's what I see on my screen. 19122. Okay. We'll make it 123. We'll give us one more pip. 123. I'm going to. Oh shit, my bad. 19123. I usually do like a full lot. Let's see what a full lot looks like. Okay, I'm cool for that. Sell limit. There it is. Go to pending. NAS. I forgot to set a TP. My TP. Let's just fucking swing for the fences on this double bottom. Let's go back out to see what the TP really supposed to look like. Yeah, I'm gonna TP right here. 18 417. 18417. 18417. Is that what I said? 18. Close enough. 18409. Yeah, whatever. 407. 18407. Good enough. 07. Oh, my bad. Take this off. 18407. 18407. Okay. 6% TP. So we're risking a little more than 0.5%. Our target is 6%. There we go. So that's done. I'm done on NASDAQ. On 30, again, I have a pending at the 88.6, which is right there as you see it on the screen. We'll see if we can get a wickety-doo down. And really, we're checking on gold because now we've rejected the 88 points or the 78.6. Now that it's actually touched it on the 1 hour, we are oversold. So our strategy is we looked at top to bottom for gold. We look at the 78.6, which it just hit. Then we come down to the 15-minute and the 5 and see if we're divergent. So we're not divergent yet on the 15. I don't suspect we will be, but we are somewhat divergent on the 5. You'll see there it is oversold. And now there's the next touch, and now it's still oversold. And so really, if I was to take this entry on a super sniper again, I have it. I'm already in because I set the fucking limit earlier. It is what it is. Really, what you would expect us to do now is to give us one more low and then turn around, because at that same time, the RSI then would give us the last touch on the 70 right here on this where the purple goes. Excuse me, the 30. So that down and then that go. All right, so that would be the super sniper entry. I'm already in though, so and I'm not going to double down. I'm already in, and I'm in for fucking. I don't say I'm over leveraged, but I'm in for a couple of percent. So I'm not going to double down. I don't want to blow my account because of this fucking trade. So there it is. I wanted to do this before Andy got on. Andy gets on in 15 minutes, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing this order block. I want it to reject in this area. So as you guys know, we have a zone, and it is technically in my zone now. It is starting to set divergent on the lower time frame. So now my ears are ready. If you haven't taken a gold trade, this is where you'd want to really pay attention and see if you can't catch that 15-minute divergent, or even the 5-minute divergent. I don't think this is done selling, especially if you look at the 5-minute. So there is possibility for this to come down a bit more. Again, that's the first dip, second, and a third dip probably in this area before it takes off, right? So that's what we're looking like there. NASDAQ, again, we called out the sell here, and we'll just put an arrow there. We called out the sell on the 30-minute break. Let's go to the 30-minute chart so we can be precise. So there on that 30-minute break is where we called out the sell. I'll leave that there. If I was to do it though, I'd wait for this market open and maybe you can get the wick back to the 78, 88.6 to take the sell. So I'll leave that there as well. And then on 30, again, I don't think it's done. I want to see the wick up to this red line, which is the top of the 88.6, and then sell off, and we can delete this fib, even though we were showing that it did hit. So the idea, guys, okay, now I want to explain this to you one more time. The idea of the strategy is always the same, okay? And it doesn't matter what time frame. This is the idea of the strategy. You find a solid bottom, okay? In this case, the bottom. You measure the fib top to bottom. All right, there it is. We like to buy when the market is overbought or oversold on the RSI. There it is. It's oversold on the RSI, and we're trying to buy it, which lines up. We also must have liquidity being taken out above us. Look at these lows, and look at those lows, and look at those lows. That is 100% buy. 78.6 out hit. That's always our stop loss, and our TP is always going to be at least a double top, if not the extension, right? That is the strategy, and that's on the 30-minute time zone. So throw some juice on there. There's your trend line rejection. We should have bought right there, but again, I was concentrating on other things. Take that same idea, the bottom, the top, the fib, the RSI, the liquidity. Take that and just rinse and repeat it to whatever time frame you want, and it works. It works like a charm. It works all the damn time, more times than it does not work. Put it that way. All right, that's the strategy, and it just makes sense because you want liquidity to be taken out so the market can move the opposite direction. It's always hunting. You have Fibonacci's working for you. You're using structure. You're going with the market. You're using the RSI. You can use divergence. You come down to the smaller time frame. Look, smaller time frame. Double bottom on the divergent. Oversold again. So you get the idea. That is the strategy. Use it on whatever time frame you feel comfortable with. If you are having a lot of losses, or you're a day trader, you don't have you don't have a time to sit in front of the computer. Do it on a higher time frame. All right, do it on a higher time frame. There's the bottom. There's the top. There's the liquidity. There's our zone, and the RSI is now oversold. Well, it is now, but we're still waiting for us to come back down to this area because look, it hasn't. It hasn't done it. All right. If this is our zone, the market has not got there yet. And so you would be sitting out of all of this, waiting for this to come down here, waiting for these to be taken. All right. And once you get into this trade, now you have a shit ton of confidence to hold this bad boy up, knowing you caught the bottom and you're targeting these other areas, especially this area, for an order block. But it should now, because look, this is now liquidity. This is now liquidity with this top and this top that it's setting up. That's liquidity that's going to be taken out. So guys, if we catch this buy down here, you need to hold 100% of the trade without closing out profit or TPs until it clears this area. All right? You have to be able to hold that. So let's say we catch this 88.6. You are not taking profit until it hits this area because you know it's going to take that out. There's your 2.5 to 1, and that is a shit ton of pips. That's a shit ton of money. But what you're really doing is trying to take profit up here or even up here. And that's where you start to leave your runners. All right. And that same mindset works on the smaller time frames. Do not take your profit too early. Look at where the market needs to go to take liquidity. Then that is your TP1. Do not close it out early. At least maybe break even. In case you're totally fucking wrong, you're out. All right. I'm gonna jump off. It's 8:20. I'll leave the floor for Andy. For anyone else who wants to jump on there. Thank you guys for joining. As you know, I'm waiting for NAS sales. I'm waiting for 30 sales, and I'm in gold buys. All right. You guys have a good day. If you have any questions, hit me up on whatever social medias y'all got. Please do me a favor, like and subscribe. This is not financial advice. It's for trading only. Thanks also to My Flash Funding for giving us accounts to throw out. Go buy a Bored Ape. Join any Pip Connect. If y'all have anything, go look at my dot card. I'll post the link and all that stuff. Y'all hit me up. Y'all have a good morning. Let's get this NFP. Peace, guys. I'm trying. I don't know what it's doing. Stop streaming. Is the fucking OBS? OBS is currently active. Okay, so no. And now